Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on Defining Moments Tuesday's edition. I hope that you had a great weekend. I hope that you were able to get some things done. If you're like me, you're so busy during the week, you say, I'm going to take the weekend to do home chores at a lower level, but you end up doing home chores at a higher level just as much as you do during the weekday. But hopefully you were able to get some rest, some R&R, and thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. I have a very exciting guest today. His story is fascinating, and it's about life choices. If you believe that God has more inside of you, what do you do about it? He's going to encourage you today, and I thank you for joining us. Stay tuned. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome again to another edition of Defining Moments. I'm your host, Larry Nixon. I appreciate you joining me. My goodness, Aunt Dean, you are like lightning flash all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. You know, I appreciate you joining us, Aunt Dean. Love you so much. Carla and I, listen, if there's a such thing, you know, we used to say, Aunt Dean, years ago, when people are talking about you, your ears are burning. You shouldn't have any ears on your head, because Carla and I, we talk about you all the time. Love you so much. I love your voice, love everything about you, and I appreciate knowing that we're always thinking about you and we're always praying for you. I appreciate you joining us. All of you, some of you come in and you join us live stream. Some of you listen to us on your radio dial as you're driving throughout the metropolitan area. We have a lot of delivery drivers that listen to us. I appreciate that. Then we have a lot of people that come back and listen to us on our podcast, or listen to us on our platforms, our various platforms, and we appreciate that. I invite you to join us tomorrow and listen to our podcast with our guest today, Deonte Sanders. My goodness, he has such an incredible story. On our podcast, it is a part of our radio program, but on our podcast, we take a deeper dive. We take our time. With the radio, we're controlled by the computer. Our producer, she does a great job of giving us as much time to make sure that we explore conversations with our guest, and I appreciate her doing that, Kim. But we're controlled by the computer. Our podcast, boy, I tell you what, we just take our time and we enjoy our conversation. My conversation with my guest today was just so encouraging. It was so inspirational. And log on tomorrow at 11 o'clock to ignitems.tv. You can watch our program. Not only that program, but you can peruse the library of all the programs that we have. We've had some incredible guests. And then you join us Thursday at 11 o'clock on the radio program. My guest today, I don't want to meander because, my goodness, he has such a wonderful story, such an encouraging story. I wanted to make sure that we have as much time to talk about that as much as you listening to me. Mr. Deonte Sanders currently serves as trust advisor for Story Financial Partners. Let me say that again. He currently serves as trust advisor for Story Financial Partners. Prior, he served as head of trust for First Commercial Bank, and even prior to that, trust officer for another bank. Deonte earned his Bachelor of Accounting and MBA from Belhaven University. He is a graduate of Cannon Financial Trust School and a certified trust and financial advisor designated by the American Bankers Association. In addition, Deonte is a recognized, celebrated, highly decorated, and a respected athlete in the international martial arts community. He serves as an athlete on the AAU USA National Karate Team competing internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great delight to welcome my friend, my bodyguard, just kidding, Mr. Deonte Sanders to Defining Moments. Man, welcome to Defining Moments.
Larry, thank you for having me.
Listen, if I were to read all of your body of work that you've accomplished in such a short period of time at a young age, I wouldn't have enough time to talk to you. How in the world, do you ever sleep?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
man, you're just because you're involved in a lot of things, and you get a lot of things accomplished, but yet you get them done, and you have such a resume of appreciable success with the things that you've been able to accomplish in your life, and that says to me one thing, that you are a disciplined person.
Yeah.
So I first read that I introduced you as being trust advisor for Story Financial Partners. Right. First of all, for those that may not even know what that is, they know what a dentist is, they know what a doctor is, but what is a trust advisor?
Yes, so I give advice on trust and estate planning. I give advice on trust administration. So let's just talk about trust. Trust is an entity that allows someone to put assets inside of the entity for the benefit of another party. So I'm going to give you an example, Larry. Let's say your house. You want to put your house in the trust. Maybe there's sentimental value. Maybe you want to protect your house from someone ever trying to take it in a lawsuit or something like that. Well, once that house is in the trust, it's separate from your name. And you meet with your attorney, and you can put language in the trust to say how that house is taken care of and who gets that house if something were to happen to you. So anything that's important to you, for some reason, people think you got to be rich to have a trust. False.
And I got to tell you that I'm more educated now, but I have thought before I met you, really, I thought you had to have a lot of money, or you had to have great wealth in order to have trust. Now, because you've been taught, you need to have a checking account, you need to have a savings account. You need to maybe buy some CDs. You may need to dabble in money market. Other than that, that's pretty much it. Right. But then you're talking totally different level. Yeah.
And everybody's situation is different. Maybe you're of a certain net worth, and when you passed away, you may be exposed to the death tax. So you start moving assets now into a trust to get it out of your name. Maybe you have some kids, and out of those group of kids, there's one kid in particular that's bad at budgeting. In the future.
That's a nice way of putting it.
Yeah. I'm trying to, there's going to be in the future.
Like the prodigal son, give me my wealth and go take care of it all.
In the future, that kid may need help. So instead of putting a large amount of money or assets in their hands, you put it in a trust. And someone like me and my team, we help make sure that that money is spent in the way that's reasonable based on your desire when you put it in there.
So a couple of questions. Number one, can anybody, whether you make, I'm being ridiculous, but not really, whether you make $10,000 a year or make $1 million a year, can anybody have a trust?
Yes. Yeah.
See, that's you're educating people.
Yeah. Now, let me tell you why I think people get caught up on you have to be rich. If you have a corporate trustee or an institution that serves as your trustee, the trustee is the person in charge of your trust once it's created. There are certain laws that say if a trust is too small, the trustee can terminate or close out the trust. But they can.
Okay.
If it doesn't make sense from like a fee standpoint.
Okay.
But that's it.
Okay.
What you see a lot of times is a family member is a trustee for the trust.
Got it.
They're not charging a fee.
Right.
So, it's case.
Okay. All right. So a couple of questions. Number one, so when I put my assets, and assets are material possessions, jewelry, house,
paintings,
vehicle.
Yeah.
When I put those things in a trust, people like you manage the trust.
Manage the trust, correct.
So in other words, if I pass and my children want access to my assets, they get approval from you?
They would contact me.
And then what would you do at that point? You'll look at my will and say, well, your dad said or your mom said you can't have this watch.
We will look at your trust agreement, look at the language that was drafted, and we will operate based off the language that was written. Because different people have different stipulations. Some people say, hey, you must graduate college in order to get the funds out of the trust. I got it.
And I was a part of that about 4 years ago.
You'll see situations where if a spouse passes away, there's language that says if my spouse remarries, they're no longer a beneficiary of this trust. It goes to my kids. That's whatever you want to. People call it control from the grave. It's morbid, but there's some truth in that.
But all right. So not to get too techie, but What is the difference between a trust and a will?
Okay, they have some similar roles, but to keep it very bird's eye view today, that trust, if it's written correctly, can help you avoid probate. So, all right, people have a will, right? When you pass away, your assets are subject to probate.
That's right. That's right.
It's subject to probate. Some people want privacy.
That's right.
Some people don't want their assets to go to court.
That's right.
They put it in a trust. A trust is private.
That's
it's not
right.
public knowledge.
That's right. You can't. Nobody can.
Nobody knows.
It's like the president or the governor
Mm-hmm.
when they hold a particular office, they put all of their asset in a trust,
Mm-hmm.
and they let somebody else handle all of the investing.
It's off their hands.
I don't know what's going on. If you did some stuff, that's you. I didn't even know about it.
It's private, and you have somebody like me behind the scenes
Handling
it. Public versus private. Now, what's interesting, Larry, is how many people tell me they don't have a will, and I say, okay. So they say, I don't have a trust. I don't have a will. All right. Do you own something? Yeah. What you own? Well, I got a house. I got this thing. I got a little bit of cash. Okay, something happened to you. Where did it go? Well, I told my sister she could get it. Did you put it in writing to your sister?
I've seen messes, man.
Your sister get to the house, the car is gone, the jewelry is gone.
Because the other sister or the other brother or the auntie or the uncle Neil
took it
and said she wanted me to have it.
It's not in writing. If it's important to you, put it in writing. That simple.
Wow. Now, guess what?
Yeah.
That's a turnaround moment.
Yeah.
That's one of the moments you need to look in the camera and tell people you need to protect it. Well, I don't need to rehearse with you. I don't need to rehearse with you, man. You need to tell people what you just told me.
Yeah. If it's important to you, it's worth protecting. Honestly, people work so hard throughout their lives to accumulate assets, and they leave this earth, and people come in and just do what they want. No, if it's important to you, write it down where you want it to go, who you want it to benefit, no matter if it's millions or thousands or hundreds. Put it in writing. If you care, put it in writing. That's why I say if you care. If it's important to you, it's important enough to put in writing.
So my question to you, how did you get here? Listen, man, you're a smart cookie, man. How did you get here? Did someone, a family member, were they in the banking industry or the trust industry? Because typically, children by default or influence, they follow the path of their parents. Mm-hmm. If a parent was a teacher, typically the child is likely being influenced to be a teacher, doctor, dentist, whatever, lawyer, whatever. Did you gain this intrigue as a result of a family member?
No. Teacher. Well, my undergrad's in accounting, so my favorite teacher in high school was my accounting teacher. So
that bit you.
That bit me.
So talk about that.
Yeah, Miss Brooke Brown.
Was it because you were curious about numbers, or she was just a nice person?
She was just a nice person.
Or she held you accountable?
She was a nice person. She held me accountable, and she made you believe you could do anything you put your mind to. A lot of people say that, but you could tell who really means it. And Miss Brooke Brown, she meant it.
Brooke Brown, you're calling her name.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. As a great pivot point, because my producer Kim today, her mother, I'm going to call her name, her mother, Miss Lumpkin. Mm-hmm. She was my son's teacher. Mm. And my son just loved her and still loves her, and had the privilege of meeting her. Didn't know the connection. Her daughter and me, we worked together, and she put the connection together 4 or 5 months ago. Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere, I said, well, my son, he lives in Texas. I called him, and it broke him down. Yeah. He was so overjoyed because she was his elementary teacher. All right, and now he's a grown man doing great, living out in Texas. And he said, I mean, they just had a wonderful conversation. And I told him that when you come to, he said, well, when I come back to Mississippi over the holidays, I'm going to give you a call and take you out to lunch. And I talked to him last week. He just got back from Italy, and he said I'll be in for Thanksgiving, and we talked about him taking your mom out to lunch. Yeah. He's so looking forward to that. Yeah. So, but I said all of that. I took that round rabbit hole chase to suggest how important teachers are.
Yeah. They changed the world. It's not us, it's the teachers. They changed the world.
And we ought not to make light of that.
Absolutely not.
Because you are woefully successful as a trust advisor. In fact, you led the department for First Commercial Bank, now Story Bank. Man, you were executive management, but it all goes back to that teacher.
It all goes back to the teacher. Because even when I went to college, I majored in accounting because my high school teacher was an accounting teacher, and my accounting teacher in college was amazing. I got lucky. But it's the teacher. They see you from elementary to junior high, middle school, high school, all that. You spend more time with them than your parents do Monday through Friday.
So what would you tell those teachers, those students that are about to graduate, that are really thinking about going in the industry, but they say, I'm not going to make any money, I'm not going to go any. How would you encourage them, or those that are in the profession and don't think that they're making a difference?
Gotcha. Yeah. If you're going into the profession, you're about to change the world. If you're already in the profession, you are changing the world. These people that we think are making the difference, they were all kids at some point in elementary, in middle school, and they started with the teacher. So no, like, there's no change. It starts with the teachers.
I gave the example. I said, my mom, she was a great disciplinarian, love her very much. And so she taught us right or wrong, and we dressed neatly. She told us how to dress, and we did that. I went to school one day, came out of gym with my shirt tail out, and my teacher, my junior high teacher, looked at me and she said, "Mr. Nix, what's wrong with you?" I knew what was wrong with me. My shirt tail was out. I quickly, without interruption, I put my shirt tail back in and went on by my way. That's been 40 years ago, and I still remember her involvement in my life. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Her name was Miss Hushman, and at 40 years later, because she was engaged in my life, my biology teacher, Miss Lutz, I didn't do well on an exam. She chastised me. She challenged me. She said, "Your sister is an honor roll student, and if she did it, you have the same parents. She did it, you can do it." I didn't do as well as my sister in biology, but I did well because she challenged me.
Yeah.
And so you give credit to the fact that your trajectory started in the financial industry as a result of your teacher saying you can do it, or you were impressed with her involvement in your life.
1,000%. Yeah.
And you are who you are and giving advice to people about their money. A lot of money.
Yeah.
So my guest today is Deonte Sanders. He's an international karate expert. He's a financial advisor, trust advisor, expert. But I'm just curious, how did you get to this place? Talk to us about your journey.
Yeah. Whew.
I know you. All right, so let's pick up. You graduated high school.
Yeah.
Then you went to college.
Went to college, Belhaven University, undergrad accounting, master's in business. But while I was there, I said I'm gonna be a CPA. It makes sense. That's what all accounting majors do, right? We're CPAs.
That's right. That's right.
Finished undergrad, played soccer while I was at Belhaven, finished undergrad. I needed a few more hours to sit for the CPA exam coming out. So I said, okay, let me get these hours. And I went ahead and enrolled for grad school. Now, Larry, when I finished undergrad, I'm interviewing everywhere. I'm not going to say the company names, but I'm interviewing everywhere to get into the accounting department. And the response was, well, you have no experience. Well, of course, I just graduated.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
That's right.
Give me the experience. And just getting a lot of no's. Just no. And I said, that's fine. So I started working, and a financial institution in Jackson contacted Belhaven. Said, we have an opening in our trust department. Belhaven called me. So I don't know what trust is, but you said it's finance. I'll do that temporarily until I become a CPA.
It's finance, and that it's a job.
It's a job.
I'm in.
I'll do it temporarily, until I become a CPA.
Kind of nonchalant.
Nonchalant.
I'll do it.
No.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Larry, that was almost 11 years ago. I'm still in trust. And that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
But the interesting thing is that you're on a dual track, meaning, but you're trust advisor, trust officer, trust director, but yet you have this karate thing going on.
Let's talk about that too.
So let's talk about that in parallel as you're going up the interstate.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So to jump back a little bit, Larry, I was active. I talked a lot, Larry. I talked a lot. So my parents, let's put them in martial arts. Let's burn off some of that energy. I watched a lot of John Claude Van Damme movies, Chuck Norris, Steven Seagal, Mortal Kombat, you name it, I was watching it. Jumping, kicking, and flying. So at 9, every once in a while I would get into a little squabble at school too. I didn't touch on that before. Every once in a while.
This mild-mannered guy that I'm talking to today, you got in squabbles.
I got in squabbles.
It's hard to believe.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy, Larry? It never had anything to do with me. I would see somebody else getting messed with, and I just feel like I'll jump into the fight.
I needed to.
Yeah. That makes sense now because I'm like that as a leader. If I feel like you're messing with somebody that's a part of my team, I want to fight. Been like that my whole life. Yeah, it gets me in trouble, but that's fine. I'm okay with that.
So your parents say he's got a lot of energy. We need to help him in a positive way burn off some of the energy. So they put you in karate.
Put me in Taekwondo, 1998. Put me in Taekwondo. I did it for years while playing sports throughout high school and things like that. And then I couldn't juggle both.
Did you ever hate it?
No, never hated it.
You enjoyed the physicality of it.
I loved it. Even to this day, I love it.
So you've always been a physical, active kind of guy.
Yeah. But coming through college, I played soccer. There was a deacon at my church named Rex Everett. Rest in peace. Great man. Rex said, "Come on, try karate." No, I'm playing soccer. I finished soccer, finished undergrad. Rex said, "Come on, try karate." No, I'm in grad school. I'm busy. I graduated from grad school. Rex said, "All right, you're not doing nothing else. You might as well come to karate."
That's right.
I said, "Man, you got me." So I came to karate, and I never looked back, and that was 2015.
So now you have the karate going on.
At the same time while I'm in trust.
And now you're in trust.
Yeah.
All right. And you're making a name for yourself in trust.
Uh-huh.
All right, Pastor, I see you now. All right. Now, Pastor, you got a whole lot of money. I'm not going to tell your business. I'm not going to tell your government name. But you know what? But Pastor, you just joined us. I want you to hear what he just said. Because a lot of people have assets.
Mm-hmm.
They have stuff.
They got stuff.
But it's kind of everywhere.
Yes.
And that's not necessarily a good thing, is it?
It's not good at all unless you have it organized with a plan. If you don't have a plan, you're not doing nothing, Larry. You're not. Why? And why do I say that? I have served as executor for many estates now. And when an estate is not organized, it is chaotic for the family. It is chaotic for the executor or executrix. That's the person that's administering and carrying out the wishes of the will. It can be chaotic if it's not structured. So that's why sometimes people call me and they're like, "Hey, can you meet with me and my attorney?" And I appreciate the attorneys I work with because they call me and they say, "Deonte, we wrote the will. We wrote the trust agreement for our client. We want you in the room because it's people like you that actually do the day-to-day after the person passed."
Wow.
So what do you read? What do you think about when you read this language? How would you handle this in the future if something were to happen to them? Those conversations get missed.
Wow. And what you just educated us on earlier is that the misconception is that you have to be wealthy, rich, have a lot of money to have a trust.
False. Let me blow your mind. You got a second? Watch
Yeah.
this. Watch this. How many times does someone they take out a life insurance policy on themselves? They fill out that beneficiary form on who it goes to when they pass away, and they just write the individual names, okay? They pass away. The money goes to some younger adults that may not have been ready to handle all that money.
That's right. I've known that.
I've known many.
I've known that.
And it's gone within a year or two.
Gone.
That was not the intention.
Yeah.
When you take out a policy of
It's for sustainability or wealth transfer.
because I'm not here anymore.
Yeah.
What I see a
Well
lot of
placed.
my clients do, they're not, and I have some friends that have done it. They're not necessarily rich yet, but there's a trust in place that when they pass away, those life insurance proceeds, instead of it going to little Johnny's hand at 24, it goes into a trust, and it lasts a lot longer than the little Johnny at 24 get $1 million.
Because what little Johnny is going to do is go out and buy a flashy car. He's going to buy his buddies he's going to gain a whole lot of friends.
Yes.
And he's going to party, and he's going to take exotic trips, and you know, yeah, he's just going to be undisciplined. And not even necessarily that he means to be undisciplined, but he just doesn't have the
education to
the
know what
wisdom,
to do.
the education to know, you know, you're eating peanut butter sandwiches, and now you can buy the restaurant.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that money? Yeah. So yeah.
And there's stipulations you can put into a trust to where at age 25 they get 1/3.
Yeah.
At age 35 they get another, and at age 45 they get everything in the trust because the parents expect or the grandparents expect they've matured throughout the years.
So what is, and you've garnered this throughout your life, what is the most frustrating, what are some things, well, let me rephrase my question.
Mm-hmm.
Calm down, Larry, because I want to add, because you're a wealth of knowledge. What is the thing that bothers you or hurts you the most
Yeah.
with people with means or people without a lot, but they have something to work with?
Not having the conversation with their loved ones.
Mm.
Not having the conversations and not putting it in writing. I've been in personal situations throughout my career where someone passes away, told one set of kids they're getting the hunting land. They passed away. The hunting land did not go to those set of kids. It went to the new spouse. In a trust that I'm in charge of.
And you got to abide by the trust.
Yeah. It's conversations. I've been a part of situations where someone passed away, left millions, and I guess never told the child that millions was going into a trust. They were under the assumption it was going
just gonna get it
into their checking account. And lo and behold, they're looking for this money that hasn't came yet, and then I call them. They're mad with me, and we've never even met. You're mad at the person that didn't have that conversation with you.
Mm.
And that's what it's a conversation part. Now, does everybody require a conversation? No. Depending on, dynamics.
Well, I think people, they're afraid to have the conversation because of it seems morbid. As
it does.
It just said, I don't want to talk about death.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that, but you got to have the conversation.
Yeah, have the conversation. Yeah, you gotta have
it makes it a whole lot less confusing.
Yeah.
When the Lord takes you home.
And then in other scenario, when you're someone of high wealth or high collection of assets and you're alive, you can fund a trust and move some of your assets out of your name into a trust for creditor protection. Well, some people are so private, you're keeping all these assets in your individual name. If you're ever sued or divorced, those assets are in your individual name.
They can come after that.
They can come after that.
But if it's in a trust, they can't come after.
That's not your name. That's the trust. If it's structured properly.
I need to have you on this program once a month to do a teaching session.
All right,
so all right, so you're going up the ladder.
Yeah.
Parallel karate.
Yeah.
You're going up the ladder,
Yeah.
being an advisor.
Mm-hmm.
How did you become chief
Mm-hmm.
of a department,
Mm-hmm.
the trust department? That's major.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You just like kicking people.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just like beating people up.
Yeah.
And you're competing on an international stage.
Mm-hmm.
But now you've been placed head of a department of a major institution, First Commercial Bank, now Story Financial Partners.
Mm-hmm.
How did that happen?
Yeah. So my predecessor, when I met with Evelyn Agent, shout out to Evelyn wherever she's at. So when I met with her in 2018, she said, we're doing this interview, but I'm retiring one day. You need to be ready if you want this position. Then okay, let's try and get me ready.
She showed you her card.
Yeah, up front. And I appreciate that. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear. And
That's an interesting point. That was a hard interruption. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
How do you parallel that to life? The fact that she told you need to get ready because a promotion is inevitable. How do you correlate just what you said
Mm-hmm.
in words of encouragement to those people that are listening?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you
And
need
watching.
you need people in your life that's going to help you grow
That's good.
and not keep you stagnant. And what she said to me was, there's an opportunity for you to grow, and I'm telling you right now, but you had to commit to it. There's going to be things that come with it, but are you willing to grow? Because too many times people make excuses for not growing. So, yeah.
All right. So let me throw a couple out there.
Yeah.
I don't have enough money. I can't grow. I'm too old. I can't grow.
Nah.
I have the wrong zip code. I can't grow.
Nah. Excuses.
You said something on the podcast, and I said, what do you believe is the greatest enemy to people? Ladies and gentlemen, that's why you got to watch the podcast tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11 o'clock on IgniteMS.tv. And you said,
Yeah.
what?
We are in our own way. Me versus me. You're in your own way.
The greatest threat to oneself is oneself.
Yeah. No one's stopping you.
And let me drill down further.
Yeah.
Because prior to the show, some of my most intriguing conversations before we get on the air.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at him, man. It's like his body mass index is like his fat index is like a 0.0. But he said, no, man, because he competes at a very high level internationally, with karate. And you said it is that way because I don't put anything in my body.
Yeah.
I watch what I put in my body.
Yeah. If you
Expound on that.
Yeah, if you work hard on something and you get the results, it means a little bit more to you, and you don't want to go backwards. I always tell people, think about it like this, Larry. If you say, "Hey, Deonte, let's pretend I'm a chef. Deonte, I want this week to eat, and I make your meals for you. Did you actually go through anything for me to make your meals? No.
Mm-mm.
But if I told you, Larry, you go make your meals.
Oh.
You go work in the kitchen. When you get done making your meals, not only are you gonna eat them, you're gonna be a little bit more mindful because how hard you worked.
Stay tuned. Wow. So what you're really saying, you're respected. You've been a part of championship teams and you're recognized and decorated international karate martial arts expert because you've worked to get there.
Yeah.
Chief advisor, trust department for First Commercial Bank, now Story Bank. You've kind of stepped aside because now you're focusing on your martial art career. But you've had to work. What I hear you saying is there are no shortcuts for putting the work in.
No, there's no shortcuts. And let me tell you something about karate or any sport, honestly. What you see when it's game time, we all know what you put in. I can sit here all day and be like, yeah, I train, and I wake up. It don't matter if you get in the ring and you're trash. It don't matter if you underperform. It's not even about the medals. You can have two elite fighters, only one person can win. But if you're bad, you're bad. And I think the beautiful thing about the sport, especially martial arts, there's nobody else in that ring but you.
So no one can mask you.
Yeah.
Either you, this is when the rubber meets the road.
That's it.
Either you put the work in or you didn't. If you didn't put the work in, it's going to show.
It's going to show.
Carla and I, we say to our children, we used to say we used to tell them when they were younger, now less now. We still say it every now and then. If you play now, you're going to pay later.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay now, you'll be able to play later.
Yeah.
You got to put the work in, don't you?
Got to. And that comes with sacrifices.
But let me also say, if you played and now you're having to pay, you're like, oh my God, I should have paid. Now I'm paying for it now.
Yeah.
I should have paid earlier. Now I can't afford to play. Let me say this about God. Let me tell you what I've learned about God. God redeems. God redeems time. God redeems people. God stops time if your heart is right with Him. Everything that you've lost, everything that you think you've lost, everything that you think that you've sacrificed, when you get your head and heart right with the Lord, if you don't believe me, ask the prodigal son. And I can go on and on and on. If your heart is right, if you don't believe me, ask David. God will restore it. If you don't believe me, ask Joseph. But there's no substitute for putting in for having a plan and working your plan.
Yeah.
So when you were promoted to director of the trust department, were you surprised or did you really expect it because you worked toward it?
I don't expect anything, because sometimes expectations can also look like entitlement.
Oh.
But people don't want to say that. They don't want to have that conversation.
That's another T-shirt, number 10. Deonte is good for about 15 T-shirts every time I see him. Quotes on the T-shirt. Repeat what you just said again.
I didn't have any expectations, because sometimes expectations can be confused as entitlement. And here's what I mean by that. When my predecessor did decide to retire, when she let it be known she was deciding to retire, Larry, I never said, okay, it's my department. Not one time, Larry. I was going to keep working, and whoever was going to take over was going to take over, whether it was me or not.
Wow. If you're not careful, unhealthy expectations can be perceived as entitlement.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No.
But what you also suggest in the comment is that if you put your head down and work, as we've shared with our children, success is when opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
You put your head down and you do the work, opportunity will come to you on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
For those that feel like they've just been grinding it out, it just seems like the revolving door, when it gets to them, it just speeds up or it stops. What encouragement would you give them based upon you looking retrospectively at your life?
Yeah. What I would say is, are you passionate about what you're doing? Because if not, no one else can fix that but you. It means more to go through tough situations. It means more to get skipped over in a promotion. It just means a lot more if you're passionate about it and you want to be there. But if you're already not passionate about it, it's going to sting a little bit worse. You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel disappointment, but it really starts with you.
All right. Now, here we go.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready to jump in the Ferrari?
Let's go.
All right. So you're climbing the ladder, the corporate ladder. All right. In the banking industry.
Yeah.
People are taking notice. You're making your clients a lot of money. And everybody's calling your name. Deonte. People are wearing Deonte's T-shirt. Deonte, he the man.
Yeah.
But one day, that voice inside gets louder and louder.
Yeah.
And saying, what about your passion of karate?
Right. Right.
Let's pick up there.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just jump into 2024. I took over as chief in November.
And let me stop again.
Yeah.
And that's very hard. You talk when you're interviewing somebody. Let them talk. When you ask a question, let them talk. Because there are people that are in jobs that's not their passion.
Right. Right. They pay the bills.
Come on, son.
They pay the bills. They pay the bills.
They're in that job, but they don't have passion. They're going along to get along, and it's just a routine. But they're miserable because they have something deeper inside. Let's pick up.
And you're gonna get me in trouble because the people you talking about, the ones that doing the job to get the check that they're not passionate about, you got to ask yourself, where did that thought process come from? Who told them that? Because and here's why I say this: I was a kid. My parents told me, "Hey, them video games, they won't get you nowhere in life." Larry, you know they're giving out scholarships now to play video games. You know, I was walking on a college campus and they had a whole esports hub. Now, hold on a second, because in the 90s, there's no future in video games. So I say all that to say, we will let people tell us what we're passionate about will amount to nothing.
That's pop. Now you just said something there. All right. Hold that thought, man. Hold that thought, man. Because you said on the podcast, in essence, be careful who you listen to.
Be careful.
Because people, if you listen to the wrong person, they'll run you off the track.
Come on. Yeah. So I'm training. I'm locked in. 2019 was my first time making the U.S. team. Got invited to Poland. But Larry, that same year, 4 months before the national championships, I had someone tell me, "You're not good enough to try out yet."
What?
After I had just had an amazing practice. Now, what if I would have listened to that? And I didn't go to nationals that year. So fast forward, 19 successful. I had some successful years. Now in 2021, I took over as chief, November 2021. New hat, new responsibilities.
But listen, Deonte, I'm looking at a young man.
Yeah.
I'm not looking at a 75-year-old man that's
Yeah.
taking over a department
Yeah.
of a major financial institution.
Yeah.
You're dealing with people with extraordinary wealth.
Yeah.
And now this whippersnapper comes up in here and say, well, this is what you ought to do.
Yeah. You ready for me to step on some toes? 'Cause I got my shoes on.
Go ahead.
All right. So what the great thing about First Commercial Bank when I got there was the bank was still growing. So the trust department was still small. Now here's why I phrased it like that. I came from bigger places where you got a person that does everything under the sun for every trust situation. You got your trust real estate person, your trust person for this, your trust. I got the First Commercial. There wasn't a lot of that. So there's a lot of things I had to do on my own that typically you would call somebody else at another institution.
Oh, wow.
You call somebody down the hallway to go do this task for you.
Yeah.
There wasn't nobody for me to call.
If you wanted to some information on land, you had to go do it.
I had to go do it.
It wasn't a land department.
It wasn't the land department. I had to go do it. I had to go find the third-party experts. I had to go out to the land and walk the land with the third-party expert. So it's things I'm learning on the field that it would have took me 10 years somewhere else because I'm calling somebody else down the hallway. Larry, true story. It's a trust situation. I'm talking to a trust professional at another institution. I needed information for a client that was coming over to me. On the call, I asked the trust professional, asked him a tax question because I love trust taxes. I'm going to plug that right there. I asked them a tax question. Their response was, I don't know. I got to call the tax department. I said, okay. We're on the call. I asked them another trust question. Hey, can you tell me about this transaction I see? I don't know. I need to call this person. Larry, when I got off the phone, I said, I don't know if they realize it. They're not going to be around long because you're not involved.
Oh, wow.
Larry, fast forward, that person is no longer at that institution.
Oh, my goodness.
Why? You didn't bring any value.
That's right. Had no value.
You didn't bring no value. So, yeah, I am not the oldest in the room. But two things you need to keep in mind, when it comes to work ethic,
There's no substitute.
there's no substitute. My time.
There's no age limitation.
It's easy to be lazy. It's harder to work hard. And I don't believe in laziness. So, yeah.
So now let's pick up from now you're in this trust department.
Yeah.
You're running it.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down inside,
Mm-hmm.
you have the passion of karate and you're good at it.
Yeah. So 2021, competed in Romania.
Like Romania, Mississippi.
No. Which we might have one.
This is Romania,
No.
Alabama.
I'm talking Transylvania. I'm talking Dracula.
But we're talking about basically a young adult teenager, man.
Yeah. So 2021, I went to World Championships in Romania. 2022, I went to the European Cup. 2023, I competed in Dundee, Scotland. So it started to become, I'm rolling, Larry. I'm rolling. And I'm training hard, but I'm being a chief hard too. And you could do both.
Parallel.
You make some sacrifices. You lose some people along the way. You make some people mad. But it's sacrifices to get to where you're trying to get to. So what I realized was,
That's a good word.
in 2024, something was off. I was competing in a different state every month, but Larry, I wasn't practicing as much. 2024 was my worst.
Competing but not practicing.
I was going to the game, but I wasn't at practice.
Oh,
Come on,
another T-shirt.
come on. I was going to the game, but I wasn't at practice. Yeah,
That's not gonna end well.
it's not, and it didn't.
Going to the game but not in practice.
I wasn't in practice.
That doesn't have a good outcome.
I knew I couldn't practice as much, so I said I'm just going to do more games, more tournaments. Well, that was a mistake. 2024 is probably my worst year. It's probably my worst.
Because you were competing, but you were not training.
Yeah, so there was no time for me to correct my mistakes.
You know what? See, you're a good inspiration for spiritual awakening. Because I can draw the parallel.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us are wanting to live life, hoping that success is just gonna walk through the door.
Yeah.
But we're not putting it in. We're not putting in prayer time. We're not putting in time reading the Word of God. We're not spending time fellowshipping with God. We're not spending time communing with God.
Yeah.
But we want God to dump all of this stuff.
Yeah.
We want the return, but we're not investing ourselves with time with the Lord.
Yeah.
You're competing, but you're not training.
I'm not training. Not training. I didn't have time to train. I just didn't have time anymore.
Well, you get what you got.
Yeah.
So now what happens?
All right. So 2024 national championship come. Probably my
2024. That's not that. 2024. That wasn't like 10 years ago. That was like last year.
That was like last year. Worst performance I've ever had, and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know what it was. Physically, felt great. Mentally, I wasn't there. I was not there. I had so many other things on my mind.
So many things, good things.
Good things.
All right, now I'm gonna coin it this way.
All right.
Because I tell people what you may be doing. You may be doing good things, but are they God things?
Right.
There's a difference.
Right.
You may be doing good things, but are those God things? In other words, they may be good, but did God tell you to do it?
Right.
Some people are putting a period where God puts a comma. Some people are putting a comma where God says, okay, I'm done. And now the frustration comes because you're living outside of his will for your life.
Yeah.
That's where the frustration comes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where the anxiety comes.
Mm-hmm.
When we're trying to make something that God says, that season is done. Now, if you want to stay there, that's up to you.
Yeah. And I feel like God told me to do both. Trust in the states and martial arts. Not or, and.
And for some, to be clear, for some, God will give an either or.
Mm-hmm.
But for some, he will give an and.
I had an and.
I'm one of those and persons. And that's not arrogance. That's not, because God has me doing many things.
Yeah.
And I try to do them well
Yeah.
through him. But I've had some people in my life to tell me, you don't need to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, but God called me to do that. And at some point, I just had to close my ears to them.
Yeah, and timing is everything. And time, like seasons, timings is everything.
That's good.
And for me, January 2025 came, and I wasn't at practice, and I wasn't at a tournament. February came, I wasn't at practice, I wasn't at a tournament. Then I realized, whoa, where's karate? Where is it? Karate keeps me level, keep me disciplined. I'm level and calm at work because in the ring I got to be level and calm. I'm not in the ring practicing my level and calmness. Now I'm not so level and calm like right now.
In your corporate office.
In my corporate office.
In your corporate suit.
Yeah, things bother me a little bit more.
Interesting you would say that because we're not, as human beings, we're not schizophrenic.
No.
God made one person, and we're not schizophrenic. He didn't make two people in one body. Now, just keep that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to get into a clinical therapist or anything like that. But God put one soul in one body, one person in one body. But you knew something was off with your body.
I was balanced, and then I wasn't balanced anymore. The seesaw started shaking, and I was like, "No, I gotta be balanced again." So how do I do that?
Because the lack in one area affected the other area.
Absolutely. Because
your imbalance in one area affected your balance in the other area.
Because martial arts isn't a hobby. It's just a part of life. There's a different level of freedom in the ring. So I knew then. I said, okay, it's time to make a change. I got to get back. I got to get back in the ring. That's where I belong. And
I don't mean to be. I'm not trying to be as dramatic.
Yeah.
Okay, because Pam Gordon, she's president of Story Bank. Kurt Girardi, he is CEO of the bank. They're friends of mine. They've been on the program. Kurt hadn't been on the program. Pam has been on the program. They must have been devastated when you walked in and say, I need to change.
Yeah, but it made sense to them. They said, okay, that makes sense. It's karate. I think
it's your passion.
It's my passion. And that was the word. It's the passion. And the good thing about passion is everybody don't have to understand it, just you.
That's what you said on the show.
Just you.
That's what you said on the podcast.
And that's what I love about it, Larry. It only got to make sense to me, whether you support it or you don't. I gotta look at myself in the mirror. When I look in the mirror, it's not 10 people with me.
It's you. You go to bed with you at night, you get up with you at night, and you're the only one that's going to face God at the end of your life.
Don't you love how people give advice on how you should spend your money or you should go buy something,
but
then they don't give you $1 to go buy it? It's the same thing.
Wow. If I were you, this is what I'd do.
Yeah. And then I asked, well, can you kick?
Are you taking these blows?
Are you taking these blows
upside my head?
Did you lose your hearing last year? No. So this is not even a conversation.
But it is good to have people around you that support and appreciate rather than trying to deter you or distract you. They at least appreciate the passion that is inside of you.
I have an amazing coach in John Shioku in Laurel, Mississippi. And what I love about him is he'll criticize me and then tell me how to correct it. Even on a good day. Instead of me saying, oh, you're fast today. No, you're above average speed, but here's how you get faster. That's the support I like. Not telling me I can't do it. Tell me I'm not good enough to do it right now, but tell me how to get there. And if you're not offering a solution, like I offer my clients a solution, you can't do nothing for me. It's okay not to be ready, but show me how to get ready.
Deonte Sanders is my guest. We'll be right back. Hey, Andy, thank you for joining us, buddy. You know, Andy, I always enjoy having you on this program. Andy said we're going to church but not practicing church at home. In other words, we're living a schizophrenic kind of life. And you just said, man, you have to be unto thyself be true.
Yeah.
You have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you having the passion of pursuing karate and you're going to punch a clock with all of that passion balled up inside of you, and you turning 85 years old, 90 years old, and saying, I wished I should have.
Oh,
I think that's one of the greatest regret of people.
Scares me.
That they didn't try.
Scares me. And I'm going to take it a step further. Larry,
Hold on.
Okay.
I feel like this is a number 14 T-shirt number moment. Listen, my producer today is rocking. She's giving me every second, and I don't want to mismanage it, Kim. Great job. You also listen, and I want you to keep that thought.
Got you.
Okay,
Got you.
but listen, you are a personal trainer as well.
Yeah.
So, do you have a website that people can go to that if they'd like to? Do you accept clients?
Yeah, I am accepting clients right now.
Okay.
In person
As a
and
personal
virtual.
trainer?
Yeah.
All right. So, if people would like to go to your website, what is your website? Do you have a Facebook page?
Yeah. Website www.ignite. That's IGNYTE.
Okay.
Athletics.net.
Okay. All right. So, but the first thing you do is interview people right now.
Yeah.
All right. I guess to assume it, if they're willing to be disciplined or if they're serious.
If they're serious and willing to make the commitment. Because I could do everything I need to do for you, but you are in your own way.
You got to be the one to do it.
Yeah. And it goes back to the food. I could come, Larry, I could come work in your kitchen 5 days a week. That didn't do nothing for you. If you got to cook your food, you're going to take that a little bit seriously. Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to, they're important to have people around you that appreciate your passion. They may not necessarily agree with you.
Yeah.
But you were telling a story.
Yeah, so for me, again in 2025, I realized I never woke up and said, as a child, I want to travel the world and do martial arts. That's not my plan, but I've done it. As a child, I never said I want to run a trust department, but I've done it. But again, it wasn't my plan. It was God's plan. All right, so if he's keeping me in this plan, am I utilizing all of my potential? My years to compete as an elite athlete physically, that window is not big. As long as my mind is sharp, physically, if that declines, I can still do things with my mind from a trust and estate standpoint.
Oh. All right, let me rewind it and let you know. So when I was in Africa, I was preaching and teaching, and the people that I was preaching to were Swahilians, and the guy had to interpret in Swahili. So now let me, because you said that in Swahili, so let me interpret it. Yeah. Basically, what you're saying is you're at age you can compete in karate.
Yeah.
But once that career is over, once you're no longer able to compete at that highest level.
At the highest level, because I want to do it for fun. Yeah.
Then you'll still have your mind to do trust.
Yes.
To advise.
Yes.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. And Larry's, again, I've been blessed to compete overseas multiple times now. That's God's plan. That's not mine. So why would I walk away from karate when he didn't tell me to walk away from karate?
Now, when you say, okay, now it's in the room. Let me just deal with it.
Yeah.
How is karate God's plan? I have a perspective.
Yeah.
Big, all right, but I'm not gonna prejudice what I think, but I'm gonna tell you what I think after you say what you say.
Yeah.
Why do you say karate is God's plan?
Because Larry, one, not only at my age and my physical abilities and the blessing of the minimum amount of injuries, I couldn't ask for nothing more than that. But two, the youth and the students that I touch.
There you go.
The students that I touch, I'm supposed to teach them.
Hey, there you go.
There's more excitement from when they do something that it brings me a different type of joy than I've ever had winning anything.
I look at your logo,
Yeah.
Ignite Athletics, transform, adapt, evolve.
Yeah.
It's all about, karate is not about you beating up people and bullying people.
Not at all.
Because if people meet you in the marketplace,
Yeah.
they'll look at you and say, you know, he's some kind of athlete because of your body frame. You know, the exterior of your body frame. Oh, you're some kind of athlete.
Yeah.
But they would have no idea that you're a world champion because of what you said on the podcast.
Yeah.
Discipline.
Yeah.
It has taught you discipline.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about you beating up people and terrorizing people and bullying people.
Right.
Karate is not for the benefit of others. It's the benefit of you, isn't it?
Correct. 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 Correct.
So now let me ask you this. We only have I got like 7,000 questions to ask you. So and my producer just said 2 minutes. So we're going to see how this goes.
Yeah.
We're about to go into the holiday season. Are there next time I invite you, I want you to do some demonstration.
Okay, I got you.
Some helpful hints. Will you do that?
Yeah, let's make it happen.
All right. So for those that are in the marketplace during the holiday season, particularly women, men too, young ladies, are there techniques and tactics and things that they need to be aware of and how they can protect themselves?
Yeah. So one, I'm going to say, let's look long term.
Okay.
The holiday seasons are coming, but crime is crime.
Yeah.
Mugging is mugging.
Right.
Attacking is attacking. It don't turn on and off after the holidays stop. It keeps going.
Exactly right.
So for my people that don't have a taser, who don't have pepper spray, if you find yourself in a situation, run. 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 And if you just so happen to get grabbed, you need to strike them somewhere to disable them immediately and then still run.
In their private parts?
Anywhere, somewhere to get out of there. And I say all that to say this. I see the benefit in self-defense classes, but what I would say is everyone should learn some style of martial arts, whether it's boxing, jiu-jitsu, karate, wrestling, whatever that entails. And here's why I say this. We can't guarantee someone's going to put you in a very specific headlock that you practice in your self-defense class. It's not choreography. It's not a stage rehearsal. No one's going to come up and grab you in that exact position that you've been working on in self-defense class. You need to know how to fight. You need to know how to defend yourself.
Excuse me, Mr. Mugger. Can you put me in this specific headlock?
We did this in class Tuesday. Can you grab my neck right here so I can? Because no. No.
It doesn't happen like that.
No. Just know how to defend yourself in general. That's why I said long term.
Be intentional.
Be intentional.
Ladies and gentlemen, boy, I need about 7.5 more hours with this young man, Deonte Sanders. He is an absolute treasure. He's a gift. He's on the world stage defending himself and teaching young people. His training is Ignite Athletics. You have his website, Deonte. Thank you for being here, man.
Appreciate you, Larry.
You'll come back?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock, and I'll see you Thursday. Thanks for joining us. Be kind to yourself.